Today we are going to see some of the hadith scholar deliberately forge hadith for further their agenda to promote their agenda. So let's start. When Abu Ishma was asked by the contemporaries to explain how the hadith he narrated. Abu Isma was asked about the contemporary to explain how the hadith he narrated from Ikrimah, the disciple of the companion Ibn Abbas, about the virtue of the reading different chapter of the Quran were not narrated by him or any of his student. He replied that he had seen the people becoming obsessed with legal scholarship of Abu Hanifa and Sirah of Ibn Hisham. So he had forged forged those hadith to try and steer people onto again towards the Quran. Many of those who forge hadith for those pious purpose were themselves revered saintly figure. The most famous hadith critic Yahya B. Saad al-Qutan once said that I have not witnessed lying in any way more than I have seen in those known for asceticism and piety. And venerated saint of Baghdad, Ghulam Khalid, was so believed that one day when he died, the market of city was shut down. Yet when he questioned about some dubious hadith that he narrated concerning the righteous behavior, Ghulam Khalil replied, we forged those hadith so that we could soften and improve the heart of the populace. Certainly, pious figures such as Ghulam Khalil or the scholar of religious law understood the enmity of the sin of lying about their prophet. How could they have contradicted their own mission of preserving the authentic teaching by doing so? Pious figures sometimes reply that the Prophet had forbidden the Muslim to lie about him, whereas they were lying for him. In the case of those early jurist judge who forged legal hadiths to support their school of law, it seemed that they saw no contradiction between their action and their commitment to preserving the Prophet teaching. After all, as one famous hadith put it, the scholars are the inheritor of the Prophet. It was the scholar who interpreted the message of Islam as it faced new challenge and circumstances, praising their conclusion about the proper act or belief in the formula of quote unquote the Prophet said. We was simply neatly packing their own authority as Prophet representative, as one early Judists explained, when we arrive at the opinion through reasoning, we made it into hadith. The hadith critic, of course, found such excuse reprehensible. Not all forgery of hadith was malicious act. Early transmitter sometimes confesses that their opinion or statement about companion with prophetic hadith, such as rule expounded by numerous companion, word of capital punishment from the Muslim as much as possible, and if though there is some way out of it, let the person go for it. Better for judge to error in mercy than in severity. When some as casual transmitter attributed to the Prophet, sometime the comment of one of the hadith transmitter could be accidentally written as part of the hadith, the phenomena that Muslim critic called interpolation idraj.